for question 1, it's important to actually come up with your foot web, right? So based on the 4 sentence, you need to draw your foot web, right? So J fits on L, so you have to start by L going to J, right? And then M fits on J, right? So J will go to M, right? And then the next one, so you settle the first 2 sentences already, right? So the third one, L gets its foot from K, right? So it starts from K, right? So K actually goes to L, right? And M fits on L, but does not fit on K. So it's this way, right? So with that, you have your complete foot web, right? So based on this, the food producer definitely has to be K. Sorry, it has to be K, right? So M is not, so your 2 and 4 is out already, right? So you can cancel the rest. Right, so you're left with 1 and 3, right? So you go on to prey, right? So for prey, L is definitely a prey because L, anything that eats plants is not considered a predator, right? So L is correct. It's correct that L is a prey, right? And M is not, right? Because M eats other animals and M is not eaten by anyone. So M is not a prey, right? So at this point, you're left with 3 already, but you just need to confirm, right? So prey and predator for J, this is correct. Right, so it's correct that J is a prey and predator because J is eaten by M and J is a predator of L. Right, so it's correct. Right, so you go to L for predator, it has to be M, and L is not a predator because it only eats plants. Right, so 3 is your correct answer for question 1. Okay, so we go into question 2. The food web shows your relationship between your 5 organisms. So your W is definitely your plant. Right? So the first one is your population of Y died out due to water pollution, right? So you cross out Y. Right, so which one of the following shows what would first happen to the population, right? So Z will definitely increase, Z will decrease because there is no food, right? But for W and X, it will increase because there is no predator. Right, so you need to cross-check, right? So if no predator, you increase, your V will decrease because there is more animals eating it, organisms. Right, which is why your population of plant will decrease, your W and X will increase, and Z will decrease because there's no food, right? Because Y died. Right, so we start with V. V decrease, this is correct, right? And W is not decrease, right? And X is also not decrease, and Z is supposed to decrease, not increase, right? Which is why 1 is your answer for question 2. Okay? Then, so for question 3, right, we go on to check whether each of the statements are correct, right? So to check whether they are insect populations, right, you see whether the dragonfly has any other young, right? So dragonfly, no, this is 1, right? Okay, so mayflies, and mayfly nymphs is 1 population, right? So this is 2 and 2. Right? Water lily is plant, so it's not an insect. Right? And then duckweeds also is plant, so it's not. Okay, guppy is also not. So pond skaters is 3, and your great diving beetle is 4. So it's correct, right? That there are 4 insect populations. Okay, so we go on to check whether the second statement B is correct. There are more plants than animals, right? So you need to count, right? So the count of water lilies is 6. Duckweeds is 13, right? So you have 19 in total, right? But your animals, you add, is definitely more, right? So this is not correct, right? So B is not correct because there are definitely more animals than plants. Okay, there are 16 organisms in the mayfly population. So for C, you need to check, right? The mayflies has 6, the nymph has 9, right? So it's not 16, right? Because it's supposed to only be 15. Okay, and then we go on to D. There are 7 communities living in the school pond. It's not, right? There is only 1, right? So the school pond is 1 community, which is why option D is wrong. Right, so your answer will be option 1, which is A only. Okay? And so we go on to question 4, right? Study the food web. Right, which one of the organisms, PQRS, will be most affected if the flowers of the fruit are not pollinated and fertilized? Okay, so not pollinated and fertilized, right, means that there is no fruits, right? But there will still be flowers and there will still be leaves. It's just that there are no fruit. Right, so the one that will be affected the most, right, has to be R, because R is the only one that eats fruits. Because Q eats the flowers, Q can eat the flowers to survive, right, and S can eat leaves to survive, right, but R only eats the fruits. So if there's no fruits, R will be the most affected. Right, so your answer will be 3.